Hey everybody, this is Joe. I don't know if you remember, but on our last episode, we ended up talking about the new Venom movie and symbiotes. And think of this episode as a continuation of that topic. Angelo was gracious enough to bring us a list of real-life symbiotes and parasites. And this is kind of just that topic, getting us to learn a little bit about it, and hopefully you guys also learning a little bit about it, which is kind of weird that you learn something on our podcast that we usually talk about penises and cum jokes, and of course anal. So hope you enjoy this episode. Hope you learn something new, and as always, keep on drinking.
Welcome to the Designated Drinkers Podcast. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
Oh, you can shut the fuck up, you punk ass bitch!
Watch your profanity.
Are we gonna get to the real life symbiotes, or are we?
Yeah, totally.
No,
yeah, we can do that on this one. Fuck it.
Okay.
And that'll be the last thing we talk about.
All right. So, got him up.
So yeah,
Fuck
Angelo.
your brains.
This episode was mainly gonna be about Venom and symbiotes and
penises,
and then we kind of veered off and spent an hour and 13 minutes on everything else.
Why do you got to put time limits on everything, bro?
Because I don't like listening to a podcast that's longer than an hour.
I do.
See, I actually love it. Like that's my.
I've gotten
my
to the
deal.
point. I've gotten to the point where I do. I've actually unfollowed a lot of podcasts this way I could listen to the longer ones.
You know, I like when I look at podcasts and I'm like, all right, you're like, 30, 45 minutes. I'm like, there's nothing of substance.
I don't think so.
Certain ones there is, but like I've really gotten more into Joe Rogan's podcast lately.
Love it.
He's good.
Love it.
And I've
You don't like
also
Joe Rogan's podcast, Ashley?
Tom Segura's podcast. And his are like anywhere from 2 to 3 hours sometimes.
Jesus, that's too long.
No,
Yeah.
negative.
You have that much free time.
I
Driving?
drive an hour to work every day.
What does he
Yeah.
have like?
That's 2.5 hours.
When I used to do that,
An
like
hour there,
I
an
used
hour
to
an
love
hour
it.
back.
And you don't hear the end?
He does.
And then I listen to the other half an hour the next day when I drive to work.
and
you
then,
realize
and
I,
then yeah.
Ashley, some of us go to work 5 days a week. I know that you're going to school.
He's
But-
talking about not having to drive only 5 minutes to get to work.
I drive 5 minutes to work. I drive 5 minutes to school.
I drive.
Thank you, Bon Kwee.
You do realize you are white.
So, all right, my idea with this podcast was
I can't take it with the bone.
we had the main focus
Bye,
was
Felicia.
supposed to be
Look at the office.
it was supposed to be Venom, right? And the because it is a symbiote that has been taken over, and whatever you want to say, a symbiote that has been taken over and alters. Well, I mean, I guess it does alter his the way he thinks and all that stuff, but he has some conscious control of it.
Yeah, he does eventually gain control of.
Yeah, but early on, Venom has more control than
of course.
he does,
Yeah.
right?
He does.
So my thought was to bring this into real world symbiotes that actually have mind control.
Yeah.
Are you at the XYZ point yet?
I don't even know what that means.
When you get really hammered, you say XYZ a lot.
No,
My point,
no.
XYZ.
Yeah, no. I'm trying.
No,
I'm
he's
actually
at the
trying-
butt point.
I'm trying
But-
not to do that. You know what? Like, here's
But-
XYZ leads to really fucking hurting on jiu-jitsu the next day, so I'm trying not to do that kind of stuff anymore. I'm trying to be more of an adult now.
Don't be a bitch.
So, my thought was to bring some real life, examples of symbiotes that actually control brains and shit like that, and we'll go through everything from different animals to how different symbiotes control our brains.
Go for it.
So, with that being said, there's a lot of cool fucking examples from the animal kingdom. Right?
Holy shit! Maybe that should be another podcast. That's a long ass list, bro.
Well, I mean, we can do it in another podcast, or I can just kind of abbreviate
No, we can.
it
We can.
and
No,
knock
fuck
it
it. We
out.
can do it now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Okay.
Fuck it.
You're talking about. You're talking about
Wait,
2-hour
you got trained
podcast.
already.
I just saw his fucking thesis paper over there on his cell phone, and
Fuck you. You're
So-
talking about 2-hour podcast,
so-
and now you don't want to fucking have one.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna knock it out from what
Little
I
white
think.
beach.
What I think
Give me
is
that joint.
is the coolest to the less cool.
Yeah,
All
man,
right?
totally.
So,
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
or actually, you know what?
I like the one that controls the ants.
We're gonna reverse it. I'm actually gonna do it from the least cool to the most
coolest.
cool.
Yeah,
there we go.
Because
Okay.
the most
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
All right. So the first one, right, is it's basically a louse, right? A louse is just pube lice, hair lice, that kind of stuff. They're louse, right? So there's a louse that basically the male and the female work in conjunction. The male, the way you get the louse, if you are a fish, it streams in from your gills, right? So you breathe it in, basically, right? So what this thing will do, the male stays on the gill. The female will actually go into the fish's mouth and
I think I've heard of this.
rip out the tongue. It rips out the fucking tongue and replaces the tongue. It becomes the fish's tongue.
That's some predator shit.
did you send a video
That
of
is
this?
some predator shit.
I don't think I did. I don't think I sent you a video of this.
I watched that somewhere.
I was gonna say, why do I feel like I've seen that?
I think you might have been over when I think we might have been at my parents' house or something, and because I've seen that.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Maybe it was a video online. I think you might have. I think you might have sent a
Maybe,
video.
maybe
of it.
I did because it's just
That's
fucking
some
cool.
predator shit right
So
there.
yeah, so it comes in, fucking rips out the tongue, throws it out, replaces the tongue, and lives in this fucking fish's mouth as the tongue. So everything that this fish intakes, the louse is getting whatever nutrients that
predator.
it
Alien.
needs, right? And it's fucking just living off of this fucking fish. The fish is still living alive.
No, what kind of relationship is that called? That is it called a.
So that's I want to say it's a commensal relationship to where the parasite itself is gaining, but the host is not
losing.
losing. Yeah, it
So that's
loses
like
its tongue,
most-
but it's not
It's not dying because of it.
exactly.
That's like most relationships now in our
Exactly.
age.
But would it die if that parasite left?
No, because the tongue
Well, it
is,
doesn't
is
have a
not.
tongue.
It's not essential for nutrients, right? Your
Okay.
your digestive tract is going to take care of that,
Yeah, I lied, guys. It's not predator. It's alien. That's some alien shit right there.
right? So
With the little second tongue.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, that thing that just shoots out and bites your
Why
fucking
the
head
fuck
up.
are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
That's the tongue noise.
That's the tongue noise?
Far
Do it
from.
again. Do it again. I want to hear it again.
I like that. I mean, I'm not.
It
gonna
made
lie.
me
they're,
moist.
they're vamping for you,
How
bro.
about you?
Exactly. It made me moist. How about you guys?
So the next one that I wanted to bring up. So this is a cool one, right? So a lot of these.
Go pee.
But he said it's a cool one, so I believe it.
So a lot of
fucking
the things that I'm going to talk about right now are animals, right? Different animals that infect and parasitize and all that.
Are any of these
So-
butt parasites?
I can actually bring up a butt parasite, but
Anal-
it wasn't on my list.
Anal parasites?
Because it doesn't have such a cool life cycle. My goal for this was brain altering parasites. There is a butt parasite that we can go into, pinworms, but whatever. So the cordyceps.
You're a butt parasite, Tom.
Anal parasites.
So
You're a ball hog. Fuck you.
cordyceps
What are
are
What are
it's-
those?
Cordyceps is a genus or species of fungi, mushrooms,
Okay.
if you will, right? So they are, for the most part, endoparasites. So they live inside or on top of, their host. So basically, what this cordyceps mushroom or parasite will do is it will infect if an ant walks over it, or sometimes the spores get drawn off in the wind. It will infect an ant, right? Ants have these little spores and all that stuff. All arthropods have these little spores in their body. So it'll get inside, right? After that, fungi have this thing that's called a hyphae, right? So they basically, and it's very venom-like to where it starts to spread out like this, like it spreads out like you would think of roots in a plant, spreading out, right? Spreads out. It avoids all the fucking vital organs, and it basically gets to the brain. So what it'll do is it'll cause this ants to basically become under mind control. Ants are usually bottom dwellers. They're at the bottom of the bottom of the forest or whatever, right? So it causes these ants to disseminate from the colony, right? While all the members of the colony are going back into the hole to rest for the night, this thing will veer off. It's going to go up into a tree, find a leaf. Not the top side. It's going to find the underside of a leaf so that it is protected, right? It causes this ant to clamp on to the underside of a leaf and just stay there. Okay? Once it's there, it's going to stay there 7 to 10 days because that is what it takes the fungus to basically explode out of its fucking head. Okay?
Holy shit.
Yeah, it explodes out of this fucking head, becomes a stalk that becomes fruiting bodies for the fungus. And the funny thing is that the ant is basically mind controlled to do it right above where the colony settles. So that there is the vast majority of it, if there's no wind, is going to land on the colony, infect the rest of the ants.
No shit.
And if the wind blows, it's going to spread its seed, right? It's going to be diverse.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The cool thing is that now the ants have become have evolved to have a sensitivity to this. So if the ants see that this ant, this one infected ant is infected, however they do, I don't know how they detect it. I'm sure there's some kind of chemical pathway that they do it.
It might also be a pattern specifically by the ant, right?
Exactly, yeah. It could be a behavior pattern or something like that, yeah. But they will recognize it, and ants will take that infected ant and run it off away from the colony.
Oh, damn.
And basically segregate it so that it cannot go up that tree where the colony is to infect the other ants.
So wait, the ants have a CDC?
Basically.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, with ants, it might be, because I'm pretty sure ants have a hive mind, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So if they do, what if it just breaks away from their empathetic link or whatever it's called, where they can no longer communicate with it?
Well, that's part of the problem. Right, so you have this ant that has spent its whole life protecting the hive, or whatever, the colony, I guess you would call it. And ants, hives would be more, bees and stuff.
And shit.
So you have this ant that has spent its whole life, even if it's a worker ant, right, protecting, providing nutrients. Now it is under complete fucking mind control to where it goes up, gets on that leaf, and you can watch the videos of how this fucking stalk comes out. It is fucking nasty.
Oh, damn.
And these cordyceps do it with all types of different insects. And it's just amazing. All of these insects are just 100%, and this is a fucking fungus. This is something that doesn't necessarily have a brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a brain, but does it have biological pathways to, keep its life going? So it makes this fucking ant do something that is so detrimental to the colony.
So it's kind of like crackheads, because they're like, how can I get that fixed? Oh, suck that dude's dick.
Yes, it turns an ant into a fucking crackhead.
It's mindless, but it's still trying to accomplish something.
It's mind controlled.
No,
mindless would be like just babbling.
Yeah. No, I know, but like basically, so once you start smoking crack, you basically become mindless. You're just like, how can I get that fixed? How can I get that?
Yeah.
Then he starts sucking dicks, and that's basically this ant. He's like, man, okay, well, I'm going to go away and kill everybody else. Make everybody like me.
Who doesn't? You know what I mean? Like sucking a dick. Wait, what?
That is really
no, it sounds like, from how you were saying it, with the fungus, it sounds a lot like in The Last of Us. Those like
That is exactly
Kind of a little bit.
because
The cordyceps was actually the plant that they used to base that game off of.
No shit.
yeah, because if you think about it,
Yeah.
when you play the game, like when you get
It
into
was
a
the plant
spore
spores.
area,
Yeah.
you gotta have a gas mask on, otherwise you get infected.
That's exactly what it was
And
based
like
off
those zombie things looked like they were infected by a type of fungus
That's
that
crazy.
hardened and made them into like these.
of. We're gonna
minds-
get crazier.
these zombie type things, but that's awesome.
So like yeah, and then like I said, this is a fungus, right? This isn't
Yeah.
a fucking like
Yeah.
a fully brained thing that is like making this happen. This is just
A fungus.
an example of biology that is, parasitology that is living. It has adapted to live off this other thing and make this commensal relationship
Yeah.
that is, beneficial to one, basically. So it wouldn't be a commensal relationship because the ants die. But it's an example of like how like real life, like the shit that's in the Venom book, like
yeah.
this shit happens. And
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
fucking insane. So the next thing that I wanted to bring up, because this infects snails, right? So I'm gonna kind of go to like what kind of closely gets back to what infects us, right?
Yeah.
So the green banded broodsac. Mm-hmm. So basically, this is a little worm that infects snails. As a snail drags over the eggs, the eggs are brought up into the snail, or if he eats it or whatever, right? So it's a little worm, and basically what happens is this worm will live in the snail, and its definitive host, which is where they basically become sexually mature and they can pass on their eggs and all that. The definitive host is a bird.
Okay.
But they need a mechanism to get into the bird. So basically what they'll do is they'll take this fucking snail and they mature inside the snail to where they can become, fuckable basically, right? And they will migrate into the snail's tentacles, which are, I guess we would associate with eyes, okay?
Yeah.
And so the worm gets into the fucking snail's eyes and engorges them, like gets them to really pop out. And instead, like if a snail's like eyes are like a finger's length, it'll make it 4 fingers length, and it will make different colors to make it look like a caterpillar or a maggot. Now, snails are normally where, right? Low,
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
dark.
is this the one that that it flaunts itself to the birds?
Exactly.
I'm a little
So-
fungus, short and stout. Come in your tummy and a baby comes out.
Exactly. So, like, where snails are usually like dark, low environments, high moisture, and all that, like that's where they like to fucking chill, right? This thing infects the brain, makes it hit to the top of a fucking to a top of a tree, or close to a top of a tree.
Yeah.
Go out to this edge of a leaf and put on this fucking light show, basically. And it's just saying, like, it's just dancing, going, hey, fucking come get me. Because
like you're
that
at
is
a
the way,
rave.
once the tree goes, oh, or the birds, because they're fucking stupid, go, ooh,
Shiny.
maggot. Yeah, shiny fucking maggot. They eat the fucking head of the snail. Mm-hmm. Life cycle continues.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like it's really interesting how like these different parasites will control the brain of the either the definitive or the intermediate host to control them and make them do what the fuck they want to do.
So wait, so how dirty are birds actually? Because I've heard
Gross.
that like birds are disgusting.
They're not really there's some diseases that you can get from birds, from bird feces
Yeah, the
and
bird
stuff
flu.
like that. But
Well,
I mean,
I was just curious because I remember being a kid and like if there was a bird feather, you're like, ooh, bird feather, and you run over and try and grab it. Your mom's like, no, you're gonna die from illness.
yeah.
Don't touch
Well,
that.
there's like psittacosis and stuff like that you can get from birds, but I mean it's pretty fucking rare, and it's not Yeah.
nowadays medicine.
Yeah,
it's
avian
curable.
bird flu, that kind of shit. But I mean, it's rare. Like you're probably gonna get fucking more sick eating at a fucking seedy Mexican restaurant than you are
Been
at-
there.
You know what I mean?
Hold on,
So yeah,
Chipotle.
Been there.
yeah.
Made me
before you go
sick.
on to the next one,
Chipotle will fuck you up. But
can
go
we
ahead.
just all agree that any kind of like foreign cuisine, like Mexican, Asian, if they don't speak a lick of English, you know it's going to be good food.
Racist, but sure.
No, I mean like if you see a white guy at a Mexican restaurant, you know it ain't going to be that great.
Hold
Well,
on?
that's not true. I've had good Mexican food, and there was a white guy that worked
'cause
there.
The
Can
white
we-
guy's not cooking it.
Can we
Yeah, he's cleaning up the dishes.
insert Owen Wilson right now? Wow.
Wow.
We talked. I'll only bring that up is because we talked about it at work on Friday. Like,
No. I agree. The less English they speak, the better the food
I
is.
totally
Angelo-
thought that you were
it's-
just
it's-
about to say ethnic, and I was going to be like, apparently you don't know what good food is.
Yeah, no. I think the less English they speak, the better the food is going to be.
Hey, Angela, I have a question for you, though. So, would you say that the penis is the man's symbiote relationship?
It's kind of true because
no.
it takes you over.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about
I
you,
mean-
but I feel like it's got its own fucking mind.
No, that's just human sexuality. Like that's. I mean, that is our pure that's our pure biology coming out, right?
But I
'Cause,
mean,
like,
you've
what are we really meant to do? Are we meant to do podcasts, or are we meant to fucking procreate?
I mean,
I mean, you got a good point there. You honestly
I'm
really
saying.
do.
there's sometimes where like my dick's like a magnet. You know, you're just like, oh man, and then all of a sudden it just starts pulling you places. Is that normal?
Right.
That is normal. Like you are more prone to just fucking procreate than anything else in your life.
What would you call that as an illness? Like
It's not an illness. That is-
magnet penis.
No, that is just actually your biology.
Right, man. Just look at all professional sports
Just
stars.
look at Tristan Thompson.
They all have children.
I'm just saying it
Lots
takes
of them.
It takes a mammalian brain to say, you know what? Okay, I don't want to fuck that thing, because if you have your reptilian brain, which is where it all came from, right? Before all the other fucking brains that came before it, if you're looking at the base level of it, you are looking to fuck and procreate. That's it.
Fuck
If you think about it, like,
Right, because that's. I mean, if you look at what are we as mammals,
I'm looking
right?
at
Yeah.
hardcore guys who want to fuck and fuck good. If you
Well-
want to fuck me,
Piss on me, beat me.
Even
Try
if,
it out.
even if you look at biologically as like, what do we classify as life? Right, the ability to procreate, the ability to procreate things that can procreate.
I look
That
at the
is what we
ability
are.
to not procreate but still have sex. That's what I
Where
look
can
at.
I put my pee-pee
exactly.
in?
So you are that is a fucking very mammalian brain. Okay, like that is you're getting very far away from what we actually are meant to
I'm like-
do.
I'm
I mean,
like-
if you look at it like
I think
deer,
I think of
I'm like, how can I not
Dora
have
the
a kid?
Explorer, the map. It's like, look at that. Where are you supposed to put it in?
I'm like,
Another
the
pee-pee?
fucking asshole.
A butt?
It's always the butt.
A hoo-ha? That was a throwback to you.
It's always the butt.
you know, I'm kind of like one of those people who's like, how can I do this without having kids?
Instead of calling
the
it the,
pull-out
instead of calling
king,
it
baby.
the map, instead of calling it the map, they would
No,
call it the
if you're called the Pullout King, you already have a kid.
Listen, bro. Rule number 1 is in the mouth. They can't get pregnant from the mouth.
instead of calling
Cum
it the
can leak
map.
out of the beehole and go into the puss.
That's a lie.
It's not
They
a lie.
can't get pregnant from the mouth.
Huh?
Yep.
No, they can't.
Babies
I
are
mean,
born in the tummy.
Science.
Science.
Yeah.
Science alert. Science
Yeah, man.
alert.
Thank you for educating
Yep.
us.
I hate
on
everything
how
you just
stupid
said.
you fucking are.
You know why I
So-
said it though, right? Because I knew that we'd fucking fuck.
Hey, all right, back to parasites. And
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
are
yeah.
a parasite, but
they are.
so let's talk about
Kids are parasites. Just
9/11
remember
was
that.
And if you were
Conspiracy.
a C-section baby, you're a tumor baby.
Look up building 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So, all right, let's go into one of my favorite parasites.
Okay.
That one picture
Is
was
this
an
the
explosion.
best? Is this
So
the best?
no, because it is one of my favorites, but we don't really have to. Well, you kind of have to.
Is
worry
the
about
parasite
it, but
called semen?
If you know how to cook, you don't really have to worry about it. But it is the
Salmonella?
basically it's the cow liver fluke, right?
The fat liver.
So
I got one of
The
those.
diet pills.
So this parasite is cool. So basically what happens, it's definitive host, right? So a definitive host is where a parasite can mature and become in the range where they can make babies, right? Your intermediate host is where they mature, right? So they go through fucking, childhood and adolescence through an intermediate host. So for this liver fluke, the definitive host is a cow.
Is it fluke or flu?
Fluke. F-L-U-K-E.
Oh, okay.
Fluke.
Okay.
The
I was wondering,
fatty
sorry.
liver, huh? I know that one. Go on.
You might have a liver fluke.
You sure you don't want these diet pills? Come on, man. Just take 'em.
Basically, so how this thing, how his life cycle rolls is it matures, let's just say in a cow. We'll start with the cow, right? It becomes sexually productive and exits its eggs in cow poop, right?
That's
So-
disgusting
Fuck
a
off.
little bit.
Yeah, so here is this big old fucking cow patty that a snail is going to roll across and go, okay, this is fucking kind of cool
I
because
think I just came a little.
snails kind of like poop, right? So they roll
Love me some
across
poop.
this fucking cow poop. They pick up these baby fucking parasite eggs,
I
right?
can't.
So these cows
So-
do blumpkins.
Exactly.
Damn.
So the cow gets a little bit of a blumpkin there. So the snail rolls across, gets these fucking eggs inside of its body. The body or the egg begins to mature, right?
Inside the snail?
Yeah, inside the snail, and it migrates to the respiratory tract, makes it difficult for the snail to breathe. So the snail then
Snails breathe.
yeah. So the
Besides
snail
installed.
basically coughs up these fucking phlegm balls,
I've come.
right? Exactly. Snail cum phlegm balls. Sniffs, fucking coughs these things up, right? Leaves them out, boom, walks away. Here comes this fucking ant. Ants happen to like snail phlegm balls to eat.
Cum
Ants
balls.
always the ones getting fucked in all these situations?
We'll go into other animals to get fucked.
If you think
ants,
about it.
ants are they're very they're numerous, and they're widespreading. There's a lot of different ants, so they're actually a good fucking target. If you were a parasite, you would probably want to be an ant.
Can we just talk about the look of excitement in your face as you're
I love
talking
this.
about this? You're
Dude,
like,
I love this shit.
I think Ant-Man became the wrong superhero.
you look like the
After he learns all this.
I'm Ant-Man, and I'm having a really great
Oh my god,
day.
Ant-Man! Like you don't know the kind of bullshit that Ant-Man has to deal with.
you look like
But you're about to.
you look like that little kid whose parents just took him to get ice cream. And you're like, "Can I get cookie dough?" And they're like, "No, but you could have chocolate." And you're like, "Oh,
Bro, this is like that's why I was so excited for this. Like this is one of my favorite fucking like topics. I love parasites.
They
Yeah.
are
It's
interesting.
amazing.
you've
So,
had enough of them."
Take
Right?
this fucking this little fucking bug, we'll call it, that is excreted out through poop, gets ingested by a fucking snail,
Goes through 3
matures in a fucking snail, and then gets puked out because it's irritating the
He's a
respiratory
quitter.
tract.
He spit it out.
He's like, okay, I can't fucking take this. Throws it up. Ant comes along and fucking eats it.
He's like, mine.
Okay. Ant now becomes infected with said
Cum
fucking
ball.
worm, right? So, here's the fucking cool thing. Ant's going on about its day like it's fucking normal, right? Doing an ant thing, gathering a fucking leaf, doing whatever it
Fucking
does.
pissing you off in your house.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Right.
So, we can use this to get rid of the ants in your house.
Leaving
all right?
pheromone
We are
trails
gonna-
everywhere.
We're gonna use this.
Don't you fucking toy with me.
We're gonna use this.
Oh,
But-
Tom's
so,
attention is drawn now,
Ant-
guys.
During the day, becomes this fucking, it's just a cool little ant.
Angela, I have a question.
Yeah, what's
for
up?
you.
You've
How
said
the fuck-
ant like 80 times.
Well, how the fuck does your microphone end up moving all the way? And-
His hand is on,
and
touches
this
the cord.
thing- Oh, is that what it is?
Hot
He
fire.
puts his hand down and it'll start to turn.
So I
So
need
it's
to just like
He's
bring
from
my hands.
He's
in
from
the back.
Jersey.
Yeah.
I was
Hot fire.
he's like an Italian.
I'm
talks
sure you
with
could
his
give him
hands.
more
Yeah.
chord and he'll be all right.
He's like an Italian. He's
Plus,
part
it's also
Italian.
you, Carlo.
The fucking name is Angelo. Jesus Christ.
It's also you, Carlo.
I don't do that.
He's like an
It's
Look
Italian.
where your hands
It's
at
very
and look where the
Polish.
chord's at.
Oh yeah, I guess.
So, Ant
Fucking Polak.
Ant ingests these,
Cum balls.
We'll call them teenage snail cum balls. All right. And now,
Snail gumball.
yeah, exactly.
Name of the
So,
episode.
The ant gets basically mind controlled and is driven at the end of the day when all the ants are returning back to the colony. Mm-hmm. It veers off. All right.
And explodes.
No, no, that was the cordyceps. But so this fucking thing finds a blade of grass, crawls up to the top of the blade of grass, latches on, and just waits. There's no fucking reason for this. Like, ants are not nocturnal. When it's night, they fucking go back to the home. There's
is it waiting for?
There's no reason for this. Where did it start? In the cow. What do cows eat? Grass.
Okay.
So it climbs
And
to
ass.
the top of the fucking blade of grass to maximize its chances of being eaten.
Cows are
And here's
millennials.
the thing is,
They eat ass.
here's the thing. If the ant is not eaten when the cows are grazing, back on sunset when it comes back to being time to work, the fucking thing goes back to work.
And then at the end of the day, it comes back
At
out.
the end of the day, instead of going back to the colony, it goes back up to the fucking blade of grass.
Do you think
this is
that those-
completely like this is just like ants don't fucking do that?
Do you think that the other ants are like, man, where the fuck is Bob? I haven't seen him in
Exactly.
like 3 days.
Exactly.
You have
Yes.
you have an ant wife walking around. It's like, have you seen my husband? He's like, yeah, I saw him at work today. I haven't seen.
Exactly.
He hasn't come home in days.
He hasn't made the payment on the cars. We don't know
That's
what's
what I'm
going
saying.
on.
Like, this is complete fucking symbiote mind control. These things are fucking controlled. There is no reason, no biological reason for this ant to climb up to the top.
No, I can
Do
only.
you think it knows
of
what
a
it's
fucking,
doing?
No, it does.
Like at the end, like
So
during the
even
day,
if
he
it
knows
does
what he's
knows,
doing.
Even if it does know,
No.
it has no control over what is going on. Otherwise, it wouldn't do this.
Yeah, like at the beginning of
Ants do not act in this behavior.
Yeah,
No,
like at the
the,
beginning of the day, like his brain just turns back on. It's like, all right, I gotta go to work.
It's a fucking switch.
And then like once sunset hits, it just goes, brain dead, and he just walks over to a freaking
that's
blade of
fucking
grass.
incredible.
Maybe
So
he-
this goddamn fucking little, liver fluke is causing this fucking thing to crawl up to the top of a fucking blade of grass.
Did you ever think maybe he's just suicidal and wants to jump off and kill himself?
Hasn't talked himself through yet.
No, I can only think of Tom Hardy now as an ant. For the entire Venom movie, I'm just gonna be
Wow.
like, when the fuck are the pincers gonna come out? I'm Tom Hardy.
Carlo's like, why hasn't he climbed to the top of a blade of grass yet? What the fuck?
I came to see this movie.
I
Just
came
to see him
I
on
came
this
to see
giant
I
leaf.
came to see Venom just be stuck on a giant leaf, waiting for Ant-Man to come and eat him,
So to me,
or
that's
the
like
Wasp.
that's a complicated life cycle, right? Like you have to go from a fucking cow to a snail to an ant.
Yeah, you definitely
back
just
to
lost
a
like
cow,
half
right?
of our
Like,
listeners.
Do you
right
think?
there.
Do you think at one point when the cows are eating them, the ant goes, I don't feel so good."
That's fucking ridiculous.
That was a
that is
callback to
fucking
Infinity War. Just so you guys know.
Do you think that he's like, Beth, I love you. Tell my wife I said goodbye.
I don't know what that is because I didn't see Infinity Wars, and if you did,
I've never seen it.
It has
so-
been a month. It's been almost a month now.
Yeah, you're not allowed to complain about.
We're about to
spoilers.
start doing spoilers soon. All right.
I'll fucking throw my shit across your goddamn house.
It's been almost a
let's,
month.
Let's talk about that for a second. You
We'll
cannot,
put a pause on
No,
Angela's
I'm not saying you
Parasite.
cannot complain about spoilers a month after the movie has come out.
Why? Because I don't have time to go to the
Yeah,
fucking
that's not
movie
my
theater?
fucking job to.
What
to
happens
deal
on
with.
Tuesdays?
It's your job.
Or you could just not
What happens on
fucking
Tuesday?
talk about it.
It's been
It's-
almost
yeah,
a month.
it's been a month.
Oh
If
my
haven't had
god,
the-
you
if
guys
haven't
must
had
be
the
busting
fucking-
at the seams.
No, I mean,
I'm
like,
just
it's-
saying. If you haven't had the fucking time to go see the movie, it is not my job a month. I will give you a fucking month to not talk about the movie
It
because I
hasn't
get
been
it.
out a month.
I'm saying once it hits a month, it is no longer my job to keep that movie a secret from you.
You fucking hear this shit,
It is your
Angelo?
fucking fault.
You know, we're
It's not
busy.
our-
We're busy fucking guys. I can't help that you've seen the movie
What-
like
hey,
4.5 times.
Hey, hold on.
So
what do you guys do on Tuesdays?
I'm gonna go with Carlo on this because you know what, like. When I understand that if I have not seen it within a month, like I'm probably going to see spoilers, and like if Carlo was to start talking about it right now, I'd plug my ears and go blah 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 blah. Fuck yourself. So I'm not going to listen to it. But yeah, no, like we're busy. We're busy fucking.
No,
people.
I get it, man.
And no.
What do you do on a Saturday?
Listen,
Tom, jerk your dick off and not do anything else?
Tom's
Maybe
not
cut the
busy
lawn?
at all. Like.
Fuck you,
Shut the fuck-
motherfucker.
He's got a kid. I
Yeah.
get why he didn't go.
I
Why
got-
the fuck have you not gone?
Yeah, look,
I got
try and
shit
find
I gotta
a
do
try and
around
find a
the
fucking
house.
would have try.
Motherfucker,
There
we
is
saw-
nothing in your house that requires a babysitter.
Grabbing
I don't
your
want to hear it.
dick,
Do you
jerking it all day.
Do you understand how fucking OCD I am?
Yeah, it's not my fucking fault.
That-
First
that's
off,
your fucking. It fix
went-
your brain. You're married to a fuck. You're getting married to a psychologist.
We
went to
not
see
getting
a-
married at all, so
Hold
I
on.
don't.
Well, maybe that's your problem. All right.
I'm about to.
Right.
I'm
At
about to
night,
disprove
I-
your argument right now. Me and you went to go see A Quiet Place on a Tuesday night when all we do on Tuesday nights is Call of Duty.
and me and Carlo were here playing Call of Duty, just having a good time. So go.
So
fuck
you're telling
yourself,
me
guys.
you can't go to like the Regal on a $5 Tuesday night and see Infinity Wars
Yeah.
for what? For 2 hours?
I don't
I
want to
need
miss
some
Call
of
of
that.
Duty again.
Well,
I
there
need
you
some
go.
of that.
Not like
See,
you play
it
Call
ain't
of Duty,
my
you're playing
fucking
Fortnite,
fault.
motherfucker.
Bro, I'd rather see Call of
Angelo,
Duty than
you
play
know
with
what?
you.
Fuck these guys. How about Tuesday we go see fucking
Do it.
Infinity Wars?
About damn
Fuck them.
time.
I'm not opposed to that.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, do
I'm
it.
down.
Opposed
Do
to
it.
that. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Like,
Yeah,
If you
do
guys
it.
don't
no,
do it,
but here's the thing.
you have
Like,
to.
You
No,
you're,
can
no,
you
no,
bring
no.
Nicole?
Why?
No, it's boys.
Because
Just
no,
boys.
no, nay.
Why nay, nay?
No.
I've
Oh yeah, I
already
forgot.
told
Bro.
Your old lady likes Thor, and needs to
and
see
Cap.
that.
So I bring her without it.
That's-
Like
That's
I'm
fine.
getting fucked.com.
I'll tell you, I'll tell
Are
you
you,
what.
are you setting up a double date over here? What the fuck is this shit?
listen, I'm not setting up a double date. I'm trying to see the fucking movie while still keeping my fucking balls in the sack. Okay,
Dude, they haven't been in there in a long time. But I'll talk to Nicole and I'll message you and we'll figure something out.
yeah.
All
Now,
right.
and now I got to find a
If
babysitter.
you
So
guys-
let me know. We'll try and work something out.
I'll figure it out tonight.
guys
I'll let
don't-
you know by tomorrow.
Hey,
You guys don't see it on Tuesday. You guys got to come on here and say you're both big ass bitches.
No, they're gonna call themselves little fat girls.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
Little fat
Wait.
we
girls.
didn't
Wait,
go to see
we
a
gotta-
movie
Because
together.
you
Yeah,
guys
little-
you just made plans on the air right now.
No. Tentative.
No, you guys said you would.
Possible plans.
Hey,
We
uh,
never said
Angela,
100%.
Quick question. Tomorrow, can you give me a ride back home?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm not gonna have my car, and I'm gonna figure out a way to get to jujitsu. So
Do you want me to pick you up?
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's why I'm kind of slowing it down on this stuff
Yeah.
over here.
Well,
But-
yeah, my car has a flat, so I
You
have
don't know
to
how to
take.
change that kind of thing?
No, it's not that. I'm getting the flat patched,
Are you gonna?
The thing now with new cars
and I'm
is
getting an oil change. So I figured I'd fucking
You are an oil change.
yeah, I am.
a lot of new cars nowadays don't come with a.
All right, we gotta.
Alright.
It's 11 o'clock. We gotta end this episode. So let's finish.
Let
your
me
list.
get through. Let me get through my list because I put a lot of work into
It's
this.
like
Yeah, no,
another
I got you.
hour, dude.
So no.
Man,
We're
fuck
gonna
you.
do this real quick.
No.
So,
Take your
alright.
fucking time.
We'll just
So,
split it in two parts. Fuck it.
The next
Nah.
the next parasite that I want to talk about, right? The liver fluke's fucking cool as shit, right?
Carlo?
Good- Just because of the life cycle that the liver fluke goes through, cool as fuck. Okay. The next one that I wanted to talk about was the emerald cockroach wasp. So
This does not sound pleasant at all.
what this fucking wasp does, right? And it's actually really fucking impressive. So it will sting a cockroach, paralyze it for enough time for it to take its stinger and
Put it in its butt.
Those are the black wasp, aren't they?
they're partially black, but so the wasp
They're only
actually
half
takes
black.
the stinger, puts it into the fucking cockroach's brain. Somehow, and I don't know exactly how, but biologically, finds the motive center for movement, disables it. Right?
So for
So
our
now-
listeners, it face fucks it.
It's actually kind of in the back, so it like kind of skull
Doesn't
fucks
matter.
it. But so now this cockroach is pretty much, for all intents and purposes, can move but
It's a fuck
doesn't
toy.
want to. It removes its drive to fucking do anything. All right.
Might be the fucking huge gaping hole in the back of his
No,
skull.
no, 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 it's like a little fucking like surgical precision. Done. Right? So now this fucking wasp leads it into a fucking lair or into a burrow.
Make it sound like a pedophile. It leads it into its lair.
So little cockroach.
And if
Come
you
to my
watch
little
it,
white van.
if you watch a video of it, it's literally a fucking wasp that clasps onto this fucking cockroach's antenna and drags it. And the fucking cockroach is walking with it, drags it into the fucking hive or whatever, the burrow, whatever you want to call it.
It's like the Pickle Rick episode.
That's
drops it
exactly
down.
what I was thinking.
Drops it down, lays fucking eggs on it, and the eggs the fucking cockroach doesn't move, and it lays eggs, and the eggs eat the cockroach as they, the larvae eat the cockroach as they mature. And that's
shit.
how they continue their life cycle.
Pickle Rick.
So it's
Dude, I
not
wanted to
that.
say it the entire time. I was looking at you and I want to be like, a pickle Rick.
So it's not that the cockroach didn't have the muscle to move. Like, everything was working just fine.
Yeah, it just fucks with its head, so it doesn't want
It
to.
fucking brainwashes them. Goes, look, I know you can, but you don't want to move. You want
And David
this.
Blaine's them.
So it's like our government.
Bro,
No, dude,
That
it's,
is
it's
fucking
like David
incredible.
Blaine and it's
That
called
is.
You Don't Want to Move.
are you
Be right
telling
here.
me that is not one of the coolest things you've ever
No,
heard?
that's
in your
fucking
Fucking
sweet.
nuts.
fucking like
That
what?
is pretty awesome.
Are you out of your fucking like?
I was watching you showed me the guy and I've been watching a lot of his fucking YouTube shit nowadays. It's a common facts or uncommon facts or
True facts.
true facts. That's right.
True facts. Yeah.
Hang
True
on.
facts are fucking awesome.
Dude, we're going to have to fix your mic after this fucking episode. We're
Yeah,
going to have to
it's-
tighten it more.
Hang on.
All right. So, cool, right? Like the fucking, like I said, it brainwashes this thing to think that it's not gonna fucking move. So in another related thing, the ladybug wasp, right? Basically, we'll
What's
call
it called when you're kidnapped and then you start relating with your kidnapper?
It is
Stockholm
Stockholm syndrome.
So
Yeah,
it's the Stockholm wasp.
yeah. Basically, that's
They
kind
fall
of
in
a
love.
That's kind
It's
of a
the
good name.
Pickle Rick wasp.
So there's a ladybug wasp as well. So basically what it is, it'll inject its larva into the abdomen of the ladybug. And the
So it
larva,
rapes a ladybug.
yeah,
That's
fucking
fucked up.
hardcore.
Wow.
Do you
those-
think,
Hardcore.
them
do you think that
ladybugs.
do you think that they have a hashtag status?
Me Too Ladybug.
Yeah.
Me too, ladybug guys.
Ladybug.com. Let's
We're gonna start
that.
that. All our posts are gonna end with
Me Too Ladybug.com.
Me too, ladybug.
So,
Hashtag not just one bug.
What?
I don't know.
So-
I was trying to do like ladybug.
weak.
Hashtag L bug or something. Fuck you. I don't know.
Hashtag me too. Hashtag ladybug.
LGBTbug.com.
You know what makes it? You know what makes it even funnier though is when somebody's listening to the podcast, there's just gonna be that long pause after you made that joke.
Like, what?
There's not gonna be a long pause.
Yeah, there is. Joe,
We're gonna
leave that
tell-
fucking pause
Joe,
in there, you
leave
son of a bitch.
30secondpause.com. So the next thing is like, all right, ladybug wasp, right? So this thing basically will inject an egg into the ladybug's abdomen. The larva of this wasp knows to avoid vital organs, right? So it will move around and it'll do its thing. It
Damn.
will avoid vital organs, make sure that the ladybug is able to survive,
Move your phone.
right? So the ladybug will basically just chill until the larva is ready to hatch. Ladybug hatches out of the abdomen, just explodes out of it.
Wait, hold on.
Starts.
I gotta. Sorry to cut you off right there. I got a
Mm-hmm.
question. Is this like a normal size wasp compared to a ladybug?
Yeah.
So
So
this,
but
like-
you're talking about a larva right now, right? So normal sized wasp injects ladybug,
with this
puts egg.
okay.
Egg becomes larva.
So in the process of this larva becoming a wasp, is this like freaking ladybug getting like huge?
No, I mean I mean, I'm sure it's engorging a bit, but the larva is going to just basically live inside the ladybug, right, until it gets big enough to where it can survive on its own, quote unquote.
Jesus Christ.
Explodes out of the abdomen, and then starts to spin a cocoon.
Alien shit.
Right? Yeah, spins a
Some
cocoon.
alien shit.
Right? Basically protects itself. But the fucking ladybug, you would think, oh, I'm free, and flies off.
No, that son of a bitch
nay,
dead.
nay. It fucking stays over the cocoon and just protects it.
Wouldn't it be dead if it
Yeah.
popped out of its stomach?
No. Because it has evaded
Avoided.
all fucking vital organs.
So it just has a big
Pops out.
gaping
How
hole.
big does it get
Yes,
when it gets
but
out of the stomach?
bugs can regenerate that way, right?
Oh, no shit.
So it does it in the fact that the ladybug can regenerate, can go on to do this again, while the ladybug is actually like over the fucking cocoon, protecting it. And then once the wasp starts to get out, ladybug goes off, wasp goes off, until another wasp sees it, pops that motherfucker in the back again, and impregnates it.
That just reminded me of
Literally impregnation.
there is. I was watching some like Nat Geo Wild shit or something with different animals that use other animals as tools essentially.
Parasites.
And there's this bird that what it does is when a bird makes a nest and it flies away for like whatever, the other bird will come in and lay an egg in that nest. And it's like a bigger egg. And then the bird will come and like sit on all the eggs and warm them up or whatever. And when all these eggs hatch, this other bird's bigger. And what it does is it takes the most food, and it slowly but surely pushes the other two birds, or the other like baby birds, out of the nest.
So it kills out the different species.
Yeah,
of
it
bird.
kills out the different species of birds that are on there, and until it fully becomes like
a bird.
Mature.
and then like it flies away.
No shit.
Essentially, yeah, dude. When I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck? That is fucking savage."
It's if you think about it,
and
like
the thing is that the mom bird stays around the area.
the thing about nature is it's just fucking crazy.
Well,
Like-
like I said, a lot of this stuff that like you read about in the comic books and stuff like that, like this is like
Real shit.
real life. Like the stuff that you can make up doesn't hold a fucking candle to the shit
Like-
that actually exists.
Like
Yeah.
you know what I think should happen is like how in zoos we have the animals all locked up and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like if we wanted to see the animals, we should have to go in like a caged-in vehicle.
Like
in their
like a
habitat.
safari, essentially.
Yeah, kind of.
They can be out in their nature, and we can just observe.
Yay and nay. I mean, like I said, I'm very like pro. Obviously, being biology centric. I'm like I get that, but I do think that there is a level of conservation and stuff that is very. You wouldn't have this respect or this revere for fucking tigers, right? Being that we live in North America, you wouldn't have this understanding and the respect for a tiger.
People don't respect tigers.
Had you not seen it,
That's when
like
they die.
walking through the Cleveland fucking zoo over your head and go, holy fuck, that's
Yeah,
a
but they
big
That
still
thing could
don't
kill you.
respect them.
Because people open their doors when there's tigers. And
Well-
did you guys hear about that guy getting mauled by a bear?
Yeah, I saw that.
No,
Yeah,
I saw that. The
I
I
old
don't
guy.
think so.
I think Philip DeFranco talks about
Stupid.
it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I saw it.
He talked about the fact that this guy, he was a taxi driver or some Uber driver, and he was driving, and he sees this bear, and he stops his fare, and he's like, "Hang on." He gets out of the car, goes to the bear,
What a dumbass.
and tries to take a selfie
Wow.
with it,
That's natural
didn't see that
selection
one.
at its
and the
finest,
bear
right?
mauled him to death.
I don't feel
Yeah.
bad now.
No.
Nope.
Yeah,
let it
I
happen.
don't either.
I thought that like
I thought
a bear broke into his house and killed him or something.
or the
not,
bear
Oh, no,
like,
it was
took the
stupid.
fucking door off. Like
Yeah, no. Like
Apparently-
you are not meant to pass
fucking
fucking.
And this
dumbass.
happened in India, and apparently India has the highest rate of mortalities due to selfies.
yeah.
Then
fuck.
again, when you have a country filled with people, then
1
you're gonna
billion people.
You're gonna have more specific issues with certain things because you have a lot of
It's
higher
a
population.
per capita thing.
how
Yeah.
are you that fucking stupid, though. You're like, oh, they're thinking of all stuff?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, if you're in your house and there's a king cobra that's just walking across your bedroom,
I get the fuck out my house.
Yeah, but you're probably like, if that's happening every day, you're like, oh yeah, it's just fucking cobra. Like, we would shit ourselves, and these guys are like, that's Luke. Luke's there every day. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm sorry.
It's a
king
different
cobra,
world.
It's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be like, deuces. This house is gone forever.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But no, if this bear can do
Where
the
are you
shit
gonna
like
go?
in that one movie to Leonardo
Oh,
DiCaprio.
Yogi Bear when they come and eat
Hey,
your
boo-boo.
picnic.
No,
Hey,
no,
boo-boo.
like I forgot
Did
what
he take
movie
you
it was.
picking a basket?
But he like paralyzed the fuck out of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. When he
Reverend?
came and stole
Yeah, the
his
Revenant.
picnic.
Yeah, that too. And he literally paralyzed this guy. And I'm just like, nope,
Right.
not gonna have any kind of
Yeah,
kind
man.
of bear. Nope, not even gonna touch it.
Scheming themes.
Guys,
I'll be like, I'm
Stealing
gonna
food.
see a bear. I'll be like, I'm gonna go that way and never see you again.
Hey guys, it's Joe. If you want to listen to more of the Designated Drinkers podcast, you can find us on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and most major podcast apps. Also, give us a like on Facebook if you want to see some more funny antics from the boys.
All right, so the next parasite that I want to so we're gonna get into the parasites that really infect humans. And these are kind of fucked up because of the way that they control your mind and that you don't realize that they control your mind. So
Are you telling me I'm infected with a parasite?
you might be. So the first one that I want to bring up is basically it's called a guinea worm. It's Dranculunkus metanensis, and basically what this thing does is it is a worm that gets in your body from drinking unclean water,
and it
right?
talks like this, eh?
Yeah, and it's a fucking Italian worm. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you fucking stugats. So the the worm gets in, right?
Fuck.
So it's obviously it's going to be in your more third world countries and all that stuff that don't have potable drinking water and all that stuff, and it basically gets in and moves into your fucking intestines and all that, and basically what it does is
Is it a tapeworm?
actually I think this one this one is a roundworm.
Is it like that one that
We can
swims
go
in your
into
pee hole?
tapeworms. No, that's a bad one. That's a real fucking bad one.
That's a bad one.
But no, this one, it's a roundworm, and it basically it gets into your intestines. It takes about a year to mature, so you're basically harboring this fucking worm for about a year. It is becoming mature. It is causing it's becoming other fucking worms, and after a fucking year, it decides that it wants to come out. So basically, it creates a boil, right, in your leg or in your arm or whatever the fucking case is. It creates a boil, and it burns. It burns. The only thing that really makes this burning go away is cold water, which is exactly the environment that they need to exit and create more fucking parasites. So that's cold water is where they
Live?
exit their eggs. So it can stay in you, but it wants to exit its eggs in cold water.
What about those flies that plant
Flies.
TT flies.
the eggs in your skin?
So bot flies.
Is
Yeah,
that
botflies.
are
So
those
botflies-
considered parasites?
Yes, yeah. So a botfly, is a parasite, right? So it's going
Buttfly.
to bots. A botfly is a parasite because
How do
it
you
is
get
going
those?
to-
I was always curious about that.
It's. I mean, well, we can go into a long range of just mosquito or insect-borne diseases like.
So it's not
Let's
an
just
actual
say-
fly. It's from getting bit from
It's
something.
It's a larva.
If you want to get a botfly, it's from a fly.
Yeah,
right. So
it's essentially a larva.
It bites you and it injects its larva or its egg in underneath your skin. The botfly then matures, becomes a larva inside of your skin, and then the larva eats its way out of your skin and becomes
A fly. Butterfly.
plops up.
The only kind of fly that I've ever heard of that bites is a horsefly, though.
So no, there's multiple flies. Like,
Well, you're wrong.
Well, because you're here, right? There's tsetse flies. So tsetse flies in Africa, if you live there, would cause trypanosomia. So, which it's African sleeping sickness. Basically, it is a protist that gets into your blood, becomes, it just lives in your blood. It causes malaise. It causes fucking diarrhea, all this other stuff. It basically kills you until it's able to get out to where it becomes an actual fly, right? So it gets to the point where it can get re-ingested by a fly, and
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. I was just curious.
No. So like, all right. So malaria. There's all these different. There's a lot of different bug vectors that will cause different sicknesses, right?
So-
like influenza.
But you
Right.
were saying, sorry, like I didn't mean to veer you off.
Let's just let me go into this real quick because we're talking about mind control parasites, right? And viruses aren't technically a parasite, but they did a study of influenza. Influenza, when you get infected, right? From, let's say, 0, when you get infected, to 24 hours, right? To where you become virulent, where you can pass on the virus, right? There's something in you that this virus changes to make you more social. You are more likely to go out into a bar and hang out with your buddies and all that, being infected with influenza, than you would have not been infected with
I must have
influenza.
gotten influenza and not gotten rid of it.
That sounds like
8
a
months ago.
conspiracy.
Yeah, it sounds like a conspiracy,
Right,
but
by
it's
big
actually
women.
fucking documented.
No, it's a
So-
conspiracy.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Like, you are more, and like, it's
like
anything.
9/11.
It's with colds and all that. Like,
Big
you
fem
are
is trying
more-
to he's out to get us.
You are more virulent. You are more likely to pass on this sickness.
So basically, it's making
before
you do it so this way it can grow.
Before you show symptoms than after, because after you
So
show
that it can
symptoms,
spread.
you're not going to be going out, right? You're more virulent before you show symptoms. So, I mean, fucking cool. Like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, death.
Right?
Sweet.
Yeah, this fucking thing, like, a virus has no fucking brain, but it controls your bitch ass, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and me too, and everybody.
Kind of like Carlos' allergies.
Exactly.
Fuck off.
So, like I said, we talk about the tsetse fly, the malaria. These are all fucking trypanosomas that cause African sleeping sickness.
What about the peepworm?
What's
thing
a
that-
peepworm?
the thing
I
that
don't know
swims
what
in
a
your pee
peepworm
hole.
is. That oh god, what is that?
All I know is I'm not supposed to pee in a river.
Yeah.
And because you came from fucking South America, you fucking know that. Your ass knows that more so than fucking we do. Okay. I can't remember the
What-
fucking name of it.
What does
but-
it do, though? That's what it...
Cross up your dick.
Basically, it crawls up your dick. It attaches. It feeds on urea. And then it stays there because it feeds on urea.
And if
your
you try
dick
to-
is a constant stream
Doesn't it-
for urea.
Doesn't it have, like, prongs? So this way when you go to
Yeah.
pull
Try
it
to
out,
pull it
you can't...
You
Yes.
rip the
So
inside
when
of
you
your dick.
if you were to pull it out, and which you can't because it's so lodged up your fucking urethra, it's a good half an inch in for your dick. It's no, so it gets up to the base basically of your dick.
Oh, okay, let's
And-
go to a different one. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No. I need to hear the rest of
You
this.
try and rip it out. You're gonna have to fucking slice your dick open to rip it out, and if you can get it out, right,
might
you
use
would
that
have to
son of a bitch.
basically kill it to get it to shrivel to be passed out. So you're not getting rid of this fucking thing without surgical or medical treatment, and I honestly don't know if there's any medical treatment for it. I think it's
Might as well
surgical.
you might as well just cut it off and call it a day.
So, right, we just talked about the the bug, it basically creates a boil in your leg. The only way that you know to relieve this pain is cold water, which is exactly where it wants to be to release its eggs.
Like drinking it or putting your leg in it?
So you ingest it by drinking it.
Okay.
But if you are in a third world country, right, and there's no medicine to take care of this, the only thing that makes your body feel better, that relieves this pain, is cold water. What are you going to do? You're going to run towards the first fucking cold water that you can find, put your leg in it, and guess what? Bam.
It's gone.
Here's where this fucking worm starts coming. All right? For all these other things to ingest and for you to ingest. And guess what? Third world countries, you're not picky about fucking water supply.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why things like the filtered straws are very important for third world countries, because they're not getting this anymore because this fucking worm can't survive.
By the way,
past the straw.
I looked it up, and it's not a parasite that goes up to your urethra. It's a fucking fish.
Yeah. No, but it's still a parasite.
Well, yeah, I was just saying.
Or something like that?
Yeah, it's called Candiru.
Well,
Candiru.
yeah, because, I mean, technically it's latching onto you to survive, so
It's a parasitic freshwater catfish.
Yeah.
Yep, fuck that.
Imagine having a catfish in your fucking
It swims
cock.
up your urethra.
Fuck
Lays
that.
eggs in your bladder.
Fuck that.
So,
For me, that would be a small fish.
Then the next parasite that I wanted to bring up was Toxoplasma gondii. So it's a protist. Okay. This is a single-celled organism that has free will to move, right? And its life cycle is revolved around a cat and a mouse, right? Now, when it infects us, quote unquote, it doesn't have a lot of effect because we're not an infinitive, or we're not a definitive or an intermediate host per se. But it has been linked to schizophrenia. So there was a study done where I think it was the 1920s, and I could be off on this, but the 1920s saw a rise in house cats. Also saw a rise in schizophrenia because this protist gets into the brain. It's one of the few things that can actually break the blood-brain barrier, get into your brain, and it affects how you act. People that are infected with toxoplasma, generally it's going to be your more immunocompromised population, AIDS, cancer, stuff like that. But they are more likely to be to get into car accidents. They're more likely to be sporadic, to be just fucking nonchalant about shit and just like go for shit, right? So there's a link between being schizophrenic or less risk averse than your standard population that is not infected with toxoplasma. And there's a study right now that's saying that's about a third of the human population globally is infected with toxoplasma.
So wait, if you get a blood transfusion, would you be able to get that?
Toxoplasma was on a blood transfusion. I honestly don't know.
You know what I'm saying though? Like
No. Yeah, I do, and I honestly don't know. I think no.
Okay, yeah.
I think no, but I don't know for sure. Basically, the way that the cool thing of like the mind control thing is like with the humans, and I don't know if you can. I don't think you can get it sexually transmitted. I honestly don't. I think you would need to ingest.
Wouldn't it be funny if like
maybe
schizophrenia
you
was
swallowed your fucking? But then it would have to travel down to the fucking gametes, so I don't think it can be sexually transmitted.
Wouldn't it be funny if schizophrenia was like a sexually transmitted disease?
I believe it is. Look, you fuck enough crazy bros, you kind of become crazy. Like, let's just put that. You're probably crazy. You're fucking enough crazy bros.
You just start talking to yourself in your
yeah.
house, like, oh, why did I do that?
yeah, you're probably fucking nutty. But maybe it was your fucking nutty, and that's why you attracted all the nutty bros.
Oh, it was definitely my nutty in her mouth.
It was the one parasite.
why
The
they
one
go
parasite that
schizophrenic.
fucks all men.
The children.
No, I was saying the worm,
The cool thing about Toxo,
the 1-inch monster,
is so Toxo will actually
the Filipino machino,
don't fuck with me. I'm going to the Philippines. We'll talk about that next
the
episode.
flying Hawaiian.
Yeah,
The Asian cetacean.
my wife. The next so the cool thing about Toxo is that if you want to talk about mind control, like Venom's fucking symbiote. So you know how normally a rat is a natural predator or is a natural prey for cats, right?
Yeah.
Mice, all that kind of stuff. So when a rat gets infected with toxoplasmosis, it changes their behavior from I fucking am deathly afraid of the scent of a cat to cat urine yum yum. So it is actually drawn to cat urine. So it is going to be more likely to populate an area that is also inhabited by a cat get infected. Well, to get eaten and then infected. So toxoplasma is changing the chemistry of this fucking rat's brain to go, I no longer fear cat urine. I want cat urine.
That's insane.
And
That
makes it
is.
drive towards it so that the cat is like, oh, fucking easy meal, son. So, and like I said, we get infected with that as well. I have a cat now. I probably have fucking toxoplasma. That's why they tell pregnant women not to change cat litter boxes.
Oh, okay.
Because toxoplasma causes birth defects and miscarriages.
That's like
Because it
it's like a
attacks
dude
the
who
brain.
goes to a bar who's never like banged a fat chick, and then he's like, "Man, I'm really attracted to these fat chicks now. I guess I
It's
should
like
probably bang
his
one."
whole life he's always been like attracted to skinny girls, and then he goes, "Oh, fucking Big Mama,
Yeah,
I want to
So
fuck
easy.
that silly." That motherfucker's got toxoplasma, toxoplasmosis in his brain,
or schizophrenia, one of the two.
which is caused by toxoplasmosis.
There you go. See,
So, last one.
mind blown. Sexually transmitted disease, schizophrenia. Fucking head just blew up.
Fucking
We figured it out
.com.
first.
.com, right? So and that's the cool thing is like I said, there's Venom is a fucking cool idea, but there's some shit in the fucking real world
Yeah.
that is even fucking 15 times scarier than that shit. Like imagine
I mean, I'm
like,
sure if I saw Venom on
none
top
of-
of me,
bro,
about to
none
eat
of
my
this
face
shit-
off.
None of this shit gives you superpowers.
Well, I know, but if I saw,
It just fucks your life up, okay?
but I'm just saying, if I saw Venom on top of me, about to eat my face off, I might be a little scared.
You might be praying for that fucking toxoplasm.
Yeah, I might be praying for
I
that.
want to know. Let me run through some fucking cat urine. And which also, and I've watched like some stuff on this. There's no link to it, but it kind of makes sense. Like the crazy cat lady, right? The crazy
makes
cat
sense
lady,
now.
right? She's fucking nuts. She's nutty.
Mm-hmm.
She has 17 fucking cats. Why does she have 17 cats?
Nobody needs 17 cats.
Is it?
Claire.
Nobody needs one.
Is it
Claire.
the Is it maybe she has toxoplasmosis?
She might.
Is it the toxoplasma that's going, hey, we need more rodents, we need more cats.
We need our
pass
house
this on.
dirty as shit.
We need to pass this on. You want more cats because cats bring the urine, which bring the rodents, which bring our life cycle. So is all of this controlled by a fucking single-celled organism
Might be.
that is, as far as intelligence
We'll have to ask
standards,
Claire.
right? We will ask next time I see her. We're like, how many cats do you have,
Do it.
Carlo? Let's ask you a question.
Are you talking about Claire?
Yeah.
How many cats? How many cats does she have?
82.
Or
I
does
think
she
only one at the moment.
only one? All right, I only
She has
have
to hide
one,
it
too.
outside because the rest of her family is like
So she has
allergic.
an outdoor cat. That's definitely fucking toxo like heaven
Yeah.
right there.
She
So
goes,
the
I
last
think
one.
I think that cat is definitely an outdoor cat.
The last
You fuck. You fuck.
I don't know if that was like a biology joke or a stripper joke. I don't know, but I like it.
It was
either
definitely not in any way a joke about being any animals.
The last symbiote that I will bring up is mitochondria. You know what that does?
Dumb it down for
Right. So
Yeah, dumb it
me
down
and
for us.
everybody
So it's
else.
Right. So mitochondria is in all of your cells, right?
You just said that like an Italian motherfucker. Mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
So mitochondria is all of your cells, right? It is what, and Ashley should know this. It is what produces ATP, which is your
Muscles.
cellular powerhouse, right? It is the
Yeah.
nuclear reactor for your cells, right? But back in the day when we became our lineage of single-celled organisms, we didn't have that ability.
Yeah.
Right? So your mitochondria is actually a symbiote that was engulfed by another cell, and over years and years and years and years, and I mean hundreds of thousands and millions of fucking years, became what it is today. It is no longer a single-celled freestanding organism. It is an organism all in and of itself. Mitochondria have their own DNA. That's why we can tell how we are evolved from other creatures, because mitochondrial DNA gets passed down in an egg. And that is how you know where your lineage lies from, right? Sperm don't have mitochondria. So we are all descended from one single fucking female, basically. And it's because
Or
the
was it two
mitochondrial
males?
DNA. Well, it could have been.
Was it Adam and Steve?
Adam
Yeah,
and Steve.
it could have been. It could have been, but they don't have eggs, so that's where that debunks. But the fact of the matter is that what is an actual organism inside of each one of our cells that creates the powerhouse, right?
I bet you Steve felt an
ATP.
organism.
But it was Adam, so it wasn't that big. He might not have felt it.
It was just a leaf.
So our mitochondria are actual symbiotes, and that's what I like. That was like where I wanted to end this. Is like, hey, you have no fucking clue, dude. That's fucking awesome.
It is.
In my being a nerd, that's fucking awesome. We have something living inside of ourselves that was once a freestanding organism that was engulfed, and now is the powerhouse. It is exactly what keeps us fucking alive and moving. Is this thing that got engulfed by another cell and now lives in symbiosis with every one of our fucking cells.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
And I think with that, I want to say thank you for joining this special segment of the Designated Drinkers podcast. My name is Carlo.
Darian?
Tom.
Angelo nerding out.
Hey, Angelo, thank you for letting us know on this shit. This was legit as
Thank
fuck.
you for being our special guest star today.
Yeah.
We know you don't come on that much.
We know that we're special guests in a sense, and you're teaching us. So thank you.
Oh, no, he's a special guest because he doesn't come on anymore.
Oh.
Tits on a bowl.
Well, thank you for
He's a
joining,
little fat
and
girl.
keep on drinking.
Okay, bye now.
You bitch.
I've got 6 friends in the fridge to help me out.
This has been a Fat Lowell's Radio production. To hear more shows like this, go to soundcloud.com/FatLowellsRadio.